A few weeks back, I released a quirky little get ready with me video, but instead of like doing my makeup and showing you my outfit of the day, I built my own personal spending plan from ground zero to give you a peek behind the curtain of my process. And we had a shockingly good time. People were like, this actually was a decently delightful use of 36 minutes of my life. But I briefly hit on how I handle my groceries a little differently, a little unorthodoxically in YNAB, and a lot of you had questions. So today I wanted to walk through why I handle groceries in our spending plan the way we do, and you can decide for yourself if this method could actually work well for you too, and we can be twinsies. Now, there are two traditional ways to handle groceries in YNAB and one Hannah way. That, as it turns out, is also a many other YNABers way. Let's briefly walk through the two easily available to you in the app first, and then we'll walk through our third if you know option. First, you can set a monthly target for groceries. If you're just like, give me a monthly allowance, I will stay within the confines, let's just keep this simple. You can click on your groceries category, add a target, select monthly, and tell YNAB how much you want to assign every month to have available to spend on your groceries. As for whether to choose set aside another or refill up to, I have a whole video on this that I will link right here down below the video and maybe up here. I'm gonna select refill up to because this takes any money you didn't end up spending in a month and just applies it right back to meeting your target for the next month, which is great if you don't want any money building up in this category over time. With this setup, whenever I hit up the grocery store, I categorize the purchase to this category and it'll subtract what I spent from my available total, giving me my new available grocery balance for the remainder of the month. Super simple, super clear, great for the minimalists out there. The second option easily available in the app is a weekly target for groceries. Now this one has got a little more science to it. With a weekly grocery target, you'll tell YNAB how much you want to be able to spend on groceries every week and what day of the week you want that money ready to spend by. Now this is a really handy way to set up the category if you find you have a more consistent grocery shopping schedule, like maybe hitting up the store every Monday after work. Because YNAB will look at how many Mondays are in that month. Most of the time there's just 4, but sometimes there's 5. And make sure you have the desired amount set aside each Monday for that month. If you're setting the target up later in the month when there's maybe just 2 Mondays left, same thing. It's gonna make sure you're setting aside just 2 Mondays worth of grocery money for the remainder of the month. So if we go ahead and save our target, we can see out here in our plan, there are 2 Mondays left in the month, represented by these 2 line segments. So YNAB is asking for 2 Mondays worth of grocery money. If I click ahead into next month, this month actually has 5 Mondays and requires even more money than the average month, while the next month after that only has 4 Mondays, requiring a little less money than the month before. When you record a grocery transaction with a weekly target, YNAB will subtract what you spent from the available balance, and you can see if you're on track with your weekly allotment, if you went a little overboard and could try to cut back next week, or if you underspent and accidentally gave yourself a little extra boost for next week's trip. Now, this seems like the way to go if you're into stats and graphs and finance. But third, we come to the off the beaten pathway. The one I've been using for literally 7 years for no reason other than I just like it. Which is good enough for me, so. We're gonna start by deleting your grocery category in your spending plan because we're gonna make this bad boy its own whole category group. I mean, think about it. Okay, if food sustains us and is our literal life source, I think the least we can do is give it its own category group, am I right? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Within this new groceries category group, we're gonna create 4 categories to represent 4 general weeks in a month. Name each category by the actual date range, always starting with fruit or veg, important, with the date range encased in parentheses. Now this is actually important and I will show you why in a second. Category 1 is the 1st through the 7th. Category 2 is the 8th through the 14th. 3 is 15th through 21st, and 4, 22nd all the way through 31st. Wait, Hannah, that's a lot of days in that last week. Yeah. It is. Who came up with the universal calendar? 28, 30, 31? Like what? I'm gonna share an alternative solution to this dilemma in a little bit, but you said you wanted to see how I did it, so for now, week 4 is just kind of week 4 plus a half. Go ahead and look back at your general grocery trends and decide from this information how much you want available to spend on groceries every week. I think we're gonna say 150 a week because we're just 2 people and a baby. Because week 4 is actually week 4 plus a half, I'd probably set this to around 180, 200. But now we have all our targets added to all our categories. So 2 questions you're maybe thinking. 1, why the actual date range instead of just week 1, week 2, week 3? Because tell me, lightning quick, which week does the 15th fall in? What about the 9th? What about the 19th? If you can't say these off the top of your head immediately, trust me, go with the date ranges. It is so much easier to see a transaction imported on the 19th, look at my 4 categories and select 15th through the 21st, then having to mathematize and deduce which vague week that belongs in. Is that week 2 or 3 or 4? Yeah. And second question, why the parentheses? Because check this out. When it comes time to record a grocery transaction, bam. Type 1 opening parenthesis and all 4 categories pop up like magic. Sure, you could start each category with the word groceries, but sometimes it makes the category title a little too long and you're not able to get all the information you want in one glance without some of it being cut off by the screen size or limitations. With this method, I get all the info I actually want right up front, no fluffy stuff, just parentheses, it was this week, bam. From here, no matter how many times I stop at the grocery store throughout the week, and believe me, it is a lot, I always categorize it to the appropriate category based on date. It makes it clear as day to see how close I'm getting to my spending limit for the week, and the overspending notices are a game changer. If I end up overspending for the week, I immediately see red, which is YNAB's way of telling me to hold the heck up, we've spent more than we planned. I don't really get that same mid-month call out from a monthly or weekly target type. The red, the negative dollar amounts, it catches my eye and now I get to choose what to do about it. So if I'm a week or 2 into the month and any previous week's groceries categories still have money left in them, I'll first cover the overspending from those. But if week 1 is all spent and I'm $43 overspent in week 2, that's a bummer, dude. Looks like I'm covering from week 3 and I'm gonna wanna shop a little smaller next week. Or shop the same amount you usually do next week and just move a little extra money from some other lower priority category to supplement what was lost. Like, do I really need $80 in haircuts or am I gonna get the stuffed crust pizza? I'm gonna get the stuffed crust pizza, okay? I can cut these hairs myself. Another bonus is that it makes it really easy to see at a glance how much I actually spend in a week. Just look at the assigned numbers. If I covered overspending in one category or moved money from here to there, I can see, wow, I always have money left over each week. Or wow, I am always moving this money somewhere else. Or wow, I really need to get more realistic about how much food we eat in this household. Now, when I shared this little method briefly in my Build My Spending Plan With Me video a few weeks back, I got a comment from Chris Branham 1608 that completely solved that awkward too many days in the last week of the month problem. Chris, a serial Saturday grocery shopper, says he's created 5 grocery categories in his budget, weeks 1 through 5. Weeks 1 through 4 get $100 each week, while week 5 gets $35. Why? Because that extra 5th day of the month scenario happens on average about every 3 months. So if you're shopping every Saturday like Chris does and dropping $35 in a week 5 category all year long, you're gonna have over $100 ready to go by the time that 5th Saturday finally rolls around. System cheated. But wait, Hannah, didn't you just say that naming categories weeks 1, 2, 3, 4 is vague? It is, unless you have a consistent shopping day like Chris. Chris can say today was the 2nd Saturday of the month, so week 2. Today was the 5th Saturday, week 5. Yeah, Chris, good job. And if you're like me and an infant child has you constantly guessing what day of the week it even is and how many days you've worn the same outfit in a row, just pull down the date picker and you can easily deduce, yep, that must have been week 2. I guess that is how numbers work. So if you are ready for a little YNAB shakeup or think viewing your groceries in a bit of a different light could be just the change you're looking for, consider trying on a new method for groceries. Maybe you have been using my method or Chris's method and you realize this is just too messy, I need something simpler. Return to your monthly target roots, it's where we all came from. If you have any unique tips or takes on how to handle groceries in YNAB, leave them down below for your fellow food lovers. Now, if anyone has any tips on how to spend their fun money less quickly, Let me know that down below too, because I need help. Thank you for watching, y'all, and I will see you in the next video. Or think viewing your groceries in a bit of a different light could be just the change you're looking for. I can't read any words today. I can't even read any sugar words. So YNAB is asking for 2 Mondays worth of groceries. It's pretty simple. Ah, that was great. That was so good. What the heck? What the heck? I didn't like that. I didn't. I'm gonna do it again. Or fart. Okay, I can't put that in the video. Does it not deserve its own category group? Dust. This line is killing me. I'm going to die. Fart. Still works. These pens are so old. I do think I'm gonna start saying the word veg instead of vegetable. Kind of fun, kind of flirty.